Welcome back, nerds. We're your hosts. I'm Jake.
And I'm Chad. This week we are sponsored by Ray's Energy Drinks.
We are also sponsored by Crybaby Craig's Hot Sauce.
So this week we'll be talking about What If, which is now streaming on Disney Plus.
We will also be talking about Titans, which is now streaming on HBO Max. So let's get into it. This is the All Things Nerd podcast.
Nerd. Welcome back, nerds, to another week of the All Things Nerd podcast. Your weekly dive into all things nerd. So Jake, how has Minnesota been this week?
I don't know. Pretty comfortable.
Yeah?
It's not super humid anymore, which is nice. But we also haven't got any fucking rain.
Because it's super humid here. Because we get what you dump out. I used to think that Jacksonville, Florida was like the dump spot of the states, but it turns out that Cleveland and the surrounding areas.
Florida's just the dump spot for like people.
That makes sense.
That's like where like the worst people go is Florida. Yeah.
Sorry to a few people that I know that live there, but they might not be listening. But Jacksonville sucks, and they don't actually live there, so they're just in the surrounding areas. Stay away.
Yeah, it's either like
it's if meth was a city.
I was gonna say it's either like old racist like Southern people in Florida or like young fucking party bros, and then meth heads who eat people's faces on bath salts.
So it's like the three.
Yeah, it's a trifecta.
And then you leave Jacksonville, and then it slowly gets more and more diluted. Yeah. So
how's Ohio going?
Oh, you didn't call it Stupido. That's weird.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know. I mean, it's humid. It's not great. But I'm only here for another week until I get a mini vacation to come visit you.
What? I was like, where are you going, dude?
Yeah, I get to come back to Minneapolis for a weekend, so I'm super stoked about that. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. Should be a good time.
Oh, it's gonna be a great time. Will we remember it all? Meh, debatable.
Oh, it's gonna be fun. Well, you and Nicole have never actually met in person, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. We're gonna get some good food. We're gonna go to Can Wonderland.
Play some golf and drink some stuff.
We're also gonna play Galactic Battleground, which.
Yeah. What up, Joe Wagner?
What up, Joe? We're gonna play your game. I don't know why we're saying hey to him. He's gonna be there also.
I know.
But yeah, so it'll be great. But yeah, I mean, other than that, it's been another week. It's been slow.
Told you it's going down pretty fast in here.
The sun's getting real low.
Yeah, big guy.
Yeah, big guy. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, it's another week, so I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, so I mean, let's not waste time. For our avid listeners, all three of them. Just kidding. There's more than three of you, but the three of you know who you are.
Two of them are me and Chad.
Yeah, that's not entirely true. It's not entirely wrong either. But yeah, so let's before we get into everything, let's go ahead and just talk about our first sponsor, which is Ray's Energy Drinks. Fantastic, no calorie, no sugar, no crash. Just fantastic energy drinks, but they also have a lot of other protein products that are available, including some protein-packed desserts with 0 sugar. And it's not ejaculate. Listen up. What's up, nerds? I wanted to take a minute and talk to you about Ray's Energy. an incredible energy drink that provides max energy with zero crash. Raise Energy takes a giant leap of faith with instilling a high-quality formula to bring a powerful, yet sustained, energetic experience to help you push your workouts and focus to the next level. Perfect for anyone at any time, empowered by their refresh formula technology, Raise Energy delivers a performance-enhancing energy drink that aids in multiple different categories that include targeted focus, better recovery time, improved clean energy levels, and a boost in stamina and hydration. But most importantly, every can of Raise Energy has absolutely 0 calories, 0 sugar, and 0 carbohydrates to give you a smarter and healthier option. So don't settle for an energy drink that contains more sugar and carbohydrates than you can count. Instead, head over to repsports.com. That's REPPSPORTS.com and use the promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout for 15% off your order. Or if you don't know what you want, go ahead and click the link that's in the description to get a $50 sample pack for free. All you do is you cover the cost of shipping. Again, make sure you use promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout to let them know that we sent you.
All right, guys. So our first topic for this week's episode is the Marvel's What If series on Disney Plus. Yeah, it was Chad. I mean, we both watched it. It was pretty good.
The animation, first off, is so great.
Yeah.
It's really entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, the first episode definitely feels rushed. We will get into that later.
Yeah.
But overall, I mean, this was fantastic. I really enjoyed it.
We get an introduction by the Watcher, which is voiced by Jeffrey Wright.
Yeah.
Which is, if you know, going to play Commissioner Gordon in the upcoming The Batman movie.
He also has been in The Hunger Games, as well as like countless other things. Like this guy is like touched base on so many levels, and he's just incredible. And he has such a great voice, especially for animation.
Yeah.
Like it's just fitting.
Hey, basically, he just, I mean, it's in his name. He watches. So he's kind of like Santa Claus, but
yeah, but he doesn't care if you're good or bad, and he's not gonna like leave coal or spank you or eat your children. Depending on who Father Christmas is in your cultural.
But basically, this guy watches the multiverse and watches different scenarios play out. And so in this scenario for episode 1, he watches as instead of Steve Rogers becoming Captain America, Peggy Carter becomes Captain Carter. Basically, Steve, before he gets into the machine, ends up getting shot and not dying, but getting shot. And Peggy steps up because they only have one shot at doing the super soldier thing. And so she takes it and becomes Captain Carter. Yeah, what else, Chad?
Well, I mean, there's that, but also just so far for the What If series, we get so many of the original actors back. In this particular episode, we don't have Chris Evans and we don't have Hugo Weaving, but everyone else that has been involved, that was involved in Captain America: The First Avenger, is back to do their voices.
Sebastian Stan. Oh, excuse me. Sam Jackson. Jeremy Renner. Yeah.
I also feel bad. I mean, Haley Atwell, obviously. Yeah. Also, like, Dum Dum Dugan. He's one of the Howling Commandos. So many people are back for this. It's fantastic. But so we get to see like a sped up version of the first Captain America film.
With Haley Atwell at the helm
as Captain instead of Steve Rogers, or Chris Evans, however you want to refer to him.
But we also see
We,
Steve Rogers as Iron Man.
he still gets to suit up because he's a hero.
Yeah.
So we get him as the first Iron Man. Howard Stark builds him a suit, but the arc reactor hasn't been developed yet, so they basically use the Tesseract as a power source, which is awesome. We do get a lot of cheesy moments though, because they have to play off of the original story, right? So we get like Sebastian Stan making the line like, "Oh, you almost ripped my arm off." Like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
We get it, Disney. We see ya. But
yeah, we know what's going on. You don't have to
Yeah.
make these like over the top statements. We understand the premise.
We also get as far as cheesy lines go, and I'll just lead into this next part is with there's like a part where the Hydra God is in there, and I'll let you take that. But there's like which is basically like a giant tentacle like creature, octopus, whatever. And the guys break into the room to see it, and they go, "Who ordered the calamari?" And it's like, come on, dude, that's so cheesy.
Yeah, like unnecessary. But for the fans of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or also like the comics, like the first Inhuman on Earth ended up becoming worshipped as like a god, which is what sparked the Hydra movement. But it's an Inhuman that is an octopi of sorts. So they, that's where the Hydra symbol coming from the octopus is like stemmed from. They dive so much more into it with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. We're not going to get into it. But they do mention that in the episode that it was like an extraterrestrial god that Hydra worshipped. Like they basically laid it out as the Hydra god, and then you see the tentacles coming through like a portal that they create through the use of the Tesseract. Oh, I was so excited because I loved Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I knew that like after the first couple seasons it stopped officially being canon. But the fact that this happened, like, just made Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. so much more validated in my mind, in my head. I absolutely loved it. I was so stoked. But also, like, instead of, like, on the train scene, instead of, like, Bucky falling to his quote-unquote death, not really death, and whatever, Steve falls through... like the train tracks exploding. He's in like his Hydra killer.
What do they call it? The Hydra Stomper?
Hydra Stomper, that's what they call it, yeah. It's basically the Iron Man Mach 1 suit. And he like falls and then gets captured, but when they go to rescue him, he's just kind of like laying on the floor. Yeah. Totally fine.
He's like unconscious.
Totally self-aware.
But they're just like, Steve, and he like wakes up and he's like, hey, put me in the suit. And they're like, okay. And they put him in the suit. There's like no context to like what happened to him after the chain, like, or like why he's like laying on the floor or like nothing. It was super weird. Yeah.
And again, we'll touch base on to why we think that there was less build up to that, because it was weird.
I do want to mention that Peggy is just a fucking stone cold killer in this episode.
Straight murderer.
Just murdering everybody. Not fucking knocking dudes out, but just like literally, I think I probably annoyed my girlfriend as we were watching it, and I'm just like, dead. He's dead. Boom, dead. Oh, like she was like slams the guy's head into the concrete so hard that the concrete cracks, and I was like, dead. She just killed that guy. Like
she threw a motorcycle that exploded into like a wooden watchtower.
Yeah. Like she's killed all those guys. Yeah. So yeah, whatever, cool.
I mean,
Uh,
we all know that like Steve killed people like throughout the Avengers films, but like it wasn't as obvious.
yeah. I mean, there's like a part where she like throws her. I don't know if she hits a shield of a plane or not a shield, propeller of a plane, and like takes the plane out. The guy's gonna die, and then she instead of like letting the guy like crash and burn or maybe hit the eject button, she takes her shield and just goes bam, bam, and kills him, and then jumps off the plane. I even saw a meme of it on Instagram, and it was like, it was like, uh, Peggy when she already destroyed a pilot's plane, and it shows uh agent, well, agent bad fuckface, Captain Fuckface, Captain Agent,
Oh yeah.
and he's like, ah! Just like he's already gonna die. She's
U.S. agent.
yeah. Fuck. Sorry, my brain just fucking disappeared for a second.
That's fine.
I told you
Oh.
before we started recording that my brain was elsewhere today. I don't know why.
But basically, it ends with the Hydra god is trying to come through. Hydra, not the Hydra god, but like Red Skull, basically creates a portal to try and bring the Hydra god through so that he can conquer the world because he doesn't have as much of power through the Tesseract because of this entire episode. Whatever. Is trying to pull the Hydra god through, and this is how, instead of getting frozen in ice like in Captain America the first Avenger, this is how she disappears for like 70 years.
Yeah.
The Hydra god's trying to come through. She's trying to like save Steve and is like, "You owe me a dance, whatever." And then she just like hip checks, just a beast of octopi
She
celestial back
pushes the
through.
calamari back through the portal.
Yeah, she's trying to make sushi in the worst way possible.
And she does, because when they come out the other side, it's all chopped up into
Yeah.
pieces. Yeah, and she pops out the other side.
So she pops out the other side, and what is on the other side?
Nick Fury and Clint Barton, 70
Yeah.
years later.
Basically,
And
the scene from Avengers,
yeah,
where normally in the 616 universe that we're familiar with, for those of you that don't know 616 in the Marvel realm, comics, cartoons, everything, 616 is like based in our reality. But so in the Avengers film, normally what's on the other side of that portal that Shield opens is Loki, that causes havoc, the Battle of New York, everything. But in What If, it's Agent Carter with what remains of, like a giant octopus kind of like draping off of her shoulder.
yeah.
Like the most anticlimactic hentai you've ever seen. Sorry, Mom.
But
yeah.
so the reason Chad and I have talked about this, and the reason that we think, because if you watch it, this episode, I enjoyed it, and as many good things as we've said about it, it's pretty underwhelming.
And
in
it's super rushed.
Yeah, and I think the reasoning is because this was showing, or the reason we think is because this is showing how they're getting to that point in What If where everything else is going to be fucked up. So now that so they rushed through like Peggy being Captain America up until she goes through the thing, and now that she's through the thing, the portal, by thing I mean portal.
Not Diak?
Yeah. Now that she's through there, now we're gonna see a hopefully less sped up episodes of what happens because of that. So I think this was just powering through how we get to a certain point, and hopefully going forward they will be less rushed.
I think exactly. I think that to introduce us into quote unquote What If,
Yeah.
They took a very pivotal film
Mm.
and condensed it into 30 minutes.
33 minutes. Yeah.
Well, that's with credits
Yeah.
and no end credit scene. By the way, we
We'll
never
keep you
said it.
posted. Yeah.
I'm so sorry, guys, because we did not say this at the start.
Spoiler
But
alert!
spoiler alert:
Spoiler alert!
if you got this far and have not watched it, we are sorry. If
Also, though, if you don't know what we're doing by now, it's your fault.
yeah. Also, if you got this far and have not watched What If yet, and you feel robbed, please email us at hello@allthingsnerdpodcast.com. We will send you a bracelet.
All right. So, spoiler alert for our next segment.
Yeah, we're gonna
talking-
repeat it after this next sponsor spot
Yeah.
too. But yes,
Yeah. So, going into that, we're gonna just lead into our sponsor number 2, which is Crybaby Craig's Hot Sauce. It is a pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce. It goes on practically anything. So listen up. We'll tell you a little more about it.
oh, so good. Hey, you nerds, do you love spice? Supporting small businesses? What about enhancing the flavor of your favorite foods? If you said yes to any of those, our good friends over at Crybaby Craig's have the perfect solution for you. Crybaby Craig's is a pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce that goes perfectly with your favorite foods, adding the perfect amount of spice and enhancing the flavor of everything it touches. Started in Minneapolis by Craig back in 2012, Crybaby Craig's has become a Minneapolis and Minnesota staple in the sauce world. So head over to crybabycraigs.com and order yours today. All right, guys. So then for our next segment, Titans season 3 came out on HBO Max this week, so we're super stoked about that. What's really cool is that they launched the first 3 episodes at once. So, instead of a 40-minute episode, we got 3 of them.
3 40-minute episodes.
Oh.
Yeah, and it was super good. It did not disappoint.
I mean, there's some disappointing things. So, I mean, we'll get into it.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, we didn't tell you before. Spoilers! Aww.
Sorry if we accidentally ruined What If for you. But
also,
what if
it's your own
didn't hear
fault.
that?
Yeah. Jeffrey Wright, come in. Oh, that's right. We can't afford it. We can't afford him. But yeah, so Titans season 3 comes back with basically, I want to get the shitting on this done as quickly as possible. It is death in the family. That's what it is. But from the Titans' perspective. So,
yeah,
we get Jason Todd coming back as Robin. He goes after the Joker. He gets his ass beat and dies.
Which is how it happened in the cartoon and the comics. How it happens is the Joker beats Jason Todd with a crowbar.
Yeah, he basically lures him to in this it was to the pier where Joker Town.
And Batman even tells Jason hey man, don't go without
alone.
me.
Yeah.
You can't handle it. And Jason's like, yes I can. And he goes there and gets killed. So
just gets straight murked. Ironically, the Robin costume has a red shirt. So it's a Star Trek reference. Live long and get fucked. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. But yeah, so Jason goes after the Joker alone. We never get to see the Joker's face, which kind of bummed me out. I wanted to see who they chose to do that. But we get to see the Joker just absolutely annihilate Jason with a crowbar. He dies.
Yeah.
If you don't know the story, then shocker, he's dead.
Out of this death,
we get dead, OMG dead,
DED dead.
Yeah.
But out of his
Can you
death,
hear that?
we get Huh? Yes, yes. I've been hearing it forever.
Sorry.
Out of Jason Todd's death, we do get a new villain, in the name and face of the Red Hood.
Which is also kind of a callback to like the original, like the origin of the Joker. Because before he was the Joker, he was working for the mob. He wore a red hood, started going by the moniker of Red Hood,
Mhm.
until he was thrown into the crazy acid.
Yeah, at Acme Studios. Oh, I'm sorry, I meant Acme Industries. Yeah. So yeah, J well, spoiler alert again, Red Hood is Jason. But
Oh,
so he
what
uses
in
the
the
Red
world?
Hood because Joker is the one who killed him and also used to go by Red Hood, blah blah blah. Um, Now he's a little psycho dick.
That has no qualms, just shooting mod bosses in the fucking face.
Yeah, and cutting heads off.
Yeah,
Okay, he throws a bag of heads on the table. He's like, "That's
yeah. He
all of your number twos are in
yeah
that bag."
yeah.
Fuck.
It's brutal.
Yeah.
Um,
If you don't know anything about the show before after I cut you off because I already cut you
yeah.
off. Uh, if you don't know anything about this show, it's if you know what Teen Titans the cartoon is, like the kiddie cartoon that was on Cartoon Network. It's adorable, funny. This is that, but rated R and based on the actual comics. It's awesome.
I would say that awesome is an understatement because like this show is so good.
So good.
Like they really do toe the line of this is what the comic says. This is what they've done in the alternate universes, the animations, whatever,
Hmm.
and we're gonna plant it in real life, and they do it so well.
Yeah, it's super good.
Except for the cheesy ass line. So throughout the 3 episode
Oh,
run of the Titans, dealing with Jason dying, the Red Hood appearing, learning that Jason is the Red Hood, because you get that in 3 episodes. So you get it in like basically
yeah.
a movie
Yeah. And by the way,
timeline.
we are just we're doing all three episodes right now. We're
Yeah,
not really doing episode by episode. We're just gonna wrap up these 3 episodes
yeah,
and then we'll touch base on every episode after that.
exactly. Yeah, but Starfire, she's kind of got a fling with her therapist, which, if you ask Robin Scherbatsky from How I Met Your Mother, it's not a good idea. But they, she kind of has that thing going with him, and he's like, "Hey, you kind of like disappeared," and she's like, "Sorry, there's been a death in the family," like just
Yeah. Yeah.
like
We get to see
for everyone that didn't know what the storyline was, they're like, "We're gonna paint it out for you
yeah.
if you didn't
Um
know."
but we also get to see sorry. We also get to see some Gar who is Beast Boy. We get to see some a little more depth to his character. We get to see him really sad because he has a crush on Raven, who has so far been absent in this season. We also see him trying to train himself into turning into different animals, one of them being a
A
gorilla.
gorilla.
Yeah, which is a big deal if you know. If you know, you know.
And if you don't, sorry.
Yeah. So that'll be pretty cool. Hopefully, I'm assuming they're leading up to that, which would be
We
awesome.
also get a lot of scenes of him fighting, like with
Yeah.
his like in human form, but with like a green face, and he
Mhm.
looks like the Gar that we see
Yeah.
in like the Teen Titans and stuff like
Hmm.
that too.
Yeah. Um, there is we both have talked about what in oh God, fly. Sorry.
Dumb
It was
bug.
it was like right here, like looking me in the eye. Anyways, uh, in the comics and the cartoon movie version of this, the way Jason Todd is brought back is in the Lazarus pit, which is a Raz Al Ghul or Ra's al Ghul, however you want to say it. Um,
Depending on the
yeah,
animated version that you
yeah,
watch, it's either or. But they do mention they call him Ra's al Ghul
yeah.
in this because that's what they called him in the Christopher Nolan
And then you,
verse.
yeah. And then you also see Starfire having a premonition of something. They haven't said what yet, but it looks like maybe Jason being brought back to life after being in the Lazarus pit. And if you know, again, you know, but if not, basically the Lazarus pit is what makes Jason crazy.
And on
And
and
he's
on
very
top of
crazy.
that, we also, if you know, you know, the Lazarus pit is what has given Ra's al Ghul an
He,
abnormally long human life.
mm, mhm.
But every time that he's gone into it, he's still alive, so it just like rejuvenates him.
Yeah.
And also, if you ever watch like Arrow or The Flash on the CW, yes, jerk off in the camera as much as you want, Jake.
They were good for a while, but they just
They
lost it.
they were, but like in those earlier seasons, they even
Yeah.
explained that like the Lazarus pit is like if you're still alive, it's just gonna rejuvenate your youth,
Mm,
but bringing you back from the dead causes issues.
yeah.
So if you haven't read the comics to know that, if you haven't watched some of the animated films to know that, like they still explain that in the live action adaptations prior to this. But we get a lot of it. We also get hinted at future Robins,
Hmm.
including I think it's Carrie Kelly,
Yeah.
who
Tim Drake
and
also.
Tim Drake. Very quickly on Tim Drake, but the Carrie Kelly is just like, I mean, her her character appearance is very quick. But if you have seen or read, you know, the Return of the Dark Knight series, that's who becomes Robin for like old man Bruce,
Hmm.
which is basically what we get throughout Titans. But also, old man Bruce just straight up murks. He bodies the Joker
With a crowbar.
with a crowbar. He's just
Yeah.
angry
We
and
don't get
just
to see it, but he shows up in Nightwing's bedroom and drops the bloody crowbar on the ground and says, "Hey man, I'm done." And
yeah.
walks away. And then you find out like minutes later that the Joker somebody killed the Joker in his jail cell, Bruce Wayne. So, yeah, it's pretty intense.
And that's the last that we see of is it Jorah?
Sajora, yeah,
Sir Jorah? Yeah, that's the last we
yeah.
see of him. Uh
Hopefully it is the last we see of him, and I don't mean this in a mean way because I do like him as an actor. But I don't want Batman. If the show's called Titans, I don't want Batman to be a big part of it. I would really like to. You and I both talked about this
yeah.
before we started recording, but I would like to see Dick Grayson suit up as Batman at least once in this series. That would be fucking badass.
Well, if they're going with the whole like death in the family storyline,
Yeah.
I think that Bruce is going to, you know, the League of Shadows, and then he will find Ra's al Ghul's daughter Natalia, who he has a child with. So we might get Damien in this
Yeah.
on top of Tim Drake. Maybe not this season, but like moving forward, you know, whatever. But during that storyline in the comics, after Death in the Family leads into, uh, is it Blood Family? Blood War.
No. What?
Fuck. Why
You
can't I
said it.
remember?
You said it
I
like
know we
before
talked about this before we
Not
started
kidding.
recording. Uh, oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. We're, but basically, in the storyline, it's after Death in the Family. Basically, Bruce disappears, and
Dick takes up the mantle as Batman
as Batman to make up for.
because the city goes into chaos, thinking Batman's gone. So then Dick is like, "All right, I gotta
It's in the Bad Blood storyline.
bad
I'm
blood."
so sorry that
I was like, "In the
we
blood."
talked
That's
about
not...
this, yeah. But in the Bad Blood storyline, which directly follows
Yeah,
Death in the Family.
yeah. So we should see, hopefully, Dick Grayson suit up as Batman. That would be awesome.
Hopefully, if not, we're gonna get a new Robin. We will still get Nightwing, and
Tim
then
Drake, most likely.
most likely, and then we'll
We
also
also
get
see.
Lucius Fox's son coming into it,
Oh yeah. But
which
then
would
we
be
also we
rad.
also see Barbara Gordon in the
Yeah.
wheelchair.
So this is after the Killing Joke storyline of when
Which is that the
Joker cripples Barbara Gordon, not knowing that she's Batgirl,
Yeah,
but just as Commissioner Gordon's daughter.
daughter. He shoots her, bullet hits her spine.
In the comics, yes,
Yeah,
and it paralyzes her. In this, she is an amputee.
yeah. So,
She still
so
has
I
one leg.
thought you pointed that out to me because I thought in the episode it looked like she was just sitting in her wheelchair, like basic
Cross-legged.
basic instinct style, cross-legged. I was going for a more funny approach to that. You ruined it.
Sorry.
But yeah, apparently she only has one leg, so I don't know what's up with that.
Yeah, and I don't think we're gonna get more of an explanation into it, but it from every scene that we've seen of Barbara Gordon so far, it does look like she's sitting cross-legged, and I think that's just because the actress has two legs. But at the bottom of the wheelchair, we only see one leg. So I think that the story behind it is a little bit more brutal, which is fitting for the story as well, because also Bruce Wayne kills the Joker in this. So I think that we're looking at something a little bit more graphic for the backstory. I don't know if we're ever gonna get it, and if we don't, it's fine. It doesn't change.
This was also pretty rushed, in as far as these the story goes.
This happened in 3 40-minute episodes.
Yeah. We also get introduced to fucking Scarecrow.
Oh,
which is pretty awesome.
God bless that stoner's heart.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't know, so Scarecrow is a highly intellectual being. He's human, but he's just a fucking genius. And the way that they play him out to be is he's now a profiler and an informant for the Gotham Police Department. He's the way that he's able to calm his mind is that he just loves
smokes the
weed.
ganja.
Yeah, him and Mary Jane, not Watson, love to dance. Just goes all in, and that's the only way that he'll like give information to the cops is if they bring him weed.
Yeah.
But just the
pretty good shit.
It must be because he's said it multiple times and he's helped them all 3 episodes. But
the big thing that happens in this episode is that Hank, who plays
Hawk.
what's his name? Hawk, yeah. He goes to meet Jason to try and talk Jason out of being a psychopath.
Or kill him.
Uh,
He just
or
went
kill.
very solo on that one, but yeah.
I think he was trying to appeal to him because when
He
Jason,
originally, but he drew the line in the episode like, hey,
yeah,
either like
we're gonna fuck this kid up if we have to.
we're
But
either
then,
gonna kill him or we're gonna save him. There's no like middle ground.
yeah,
We
but
can't
then,
do a middle
but
ground.
then Jason calls him and he's like, "Man, I'm so sorry. I need help. Something's going on with me." And then Hank is like, "Where are you? I'll come to you." And then the next time we see Hank after that, he has a Wayne Tech detonator implanted in his heart, basically, so you can't just pull it out, or the barbs will rip your heart apart.
Or blow up.
Yeah, or blow up. And go ahead, Chad. I'll leave it at that. I introduced
And
it. You take it.
Jason or the Red Hood is basically saying, hey, you have to rob this armored car or Hank dies.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, we're going to figure it out. They put Connor, a.k.a. Superboy, Super Kid.
Superboy.
I know, I just want to make it sound less cool. On the job of figuring out the engineering to create a deactivation
Because
device.
he's the only one fast enough to, like, I can't make my hands move that fast, but, like, put it back together fast enough to. Yeah.
And during that time, they're tracking down like other leads, trying to find Jason. And Dawn, who plays
Which is
the
Hank's
Dove,
girlfriend. Oh.
weren't they married? Isn't that his ex-wife?
Ex, whatever. Moving on.
Ex-Louver.
Yeah. They banged once in a while.
Regularly, really. She's like the Ellie Goulding of the DC universe.
She does look
They
like Ellie
modeled her
Goulding.
after her. That's why I said
Fucking
it, because
balls,
see, I didn't notice that until earlier tonight when we were talking. There was a song that like came on.
yeah,
it was a TikTok that you sent me, and it was like Ellie
Still
Goulding
Falling
playing.
for You.
I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I love Ellie Goulding, and then
Yeah.
it clicked. Like this girl was modeled after Ellie Goulding, who we both love, and that's all I'm gonna say about it. But
I didn't say anything about that, Nick. That was all Chad.
yeah, I'm not gonna go further because as I found out just a couple of weeks ago, my mom actually does listen. So, anyways,
No way.
she was a part of our last live stream. We'll get into it later.
What up, Tracy?
Hey. But no, so Dawn and Hank are louvers, and they play the Dove and the Hawk, who are two of the Titans, and they've gone through their shit through the first couple of seasons, but there's always been that tension. They're trying to like find their way back together, whatever. And Dawn basically gets to the breaking point where she's like, I can't let Hank die because of this. So she goes and robs this
the
armored cart. It's an armored truck by herself. She's just running down the street of Gotham like, you'll never get this. You'll never get this.
One day he'd break a cage and he'd get this.
Fuck. But so no, she robs this armored truck, gets everything for Jason, shows up to the drop point, and she's like,
But also at the same time, while this is happening, Jason calls Dick Grayson and tells him like, "Hey, meet me at this place." Blah blah blah. And so Dick is on his way here to meet Jason, not knowing that Dove
or Dawn, yeah.
Don is there already. So go ahead.
And so Dawn shows up and she's like, I did what you asked. Where's the deactivator, or where's the active whatever?
Detonator.
Thank you. Yeah, the detonator. And he's like, it's right in front of you. And then she like looks around and there's a like
Box.
like a very cheap lockbox that has a gun in it. She picks it up, and there's Jason. She points the gun at him, and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna fucking kill you, whatever." And then at that point in time, Dick Grayson shows up. There's a huge conflict. They're going back and forth. The time is clocking down, ticking down.
The clock is ticking down.
Thank you. Yes, exactly. To save Hank. Shut up.
Yes.
And it gets down to like the last like 5 seconds, and
During this, Connor figures out he gets the thing
the
made.
deactivation.
Yeah, to get the thing out of
Hank
Hawk's,
or the Hawk.
Hank's chest, and Guard's like, go, and there's like 5 seconds left on the clock, and Superboy's got super speed, so he's like zipping through the mansion to get to Hank. And go ahead, sorry.
And
I thought you were gonna leave that part out, so I just wanted
to no, I'm glad that you did, because I was. And basically, Dawn looks at the countdown to see how much time she has left. There's 5 seconds. She thinks that the only way to save Hank is to shoot Jason Todd with this gun. She pulls the trigger with 5 seconds left. Nothing happens. And then Jason is like, "Oh, I guess I gave you the detonator."
Yeah.
And then it like
Jason
flashes.
had the detonator in his hand with his thumb on the trigger, and he says the only way you can deactivate this trigger is if you shoot me and my thumb releases from this trigger, and you can save Hank. So you have to kill me to do it. And when she pulls the trigger on the gun, nothing happens. And then Jason goes, "Oh shit, I guess I gave you the detonator, and this is nothing." And as Connor Kent is running into the room to save Hank.
Well, Connor Kent - Luther.
Yeah, whatever. Boom. Hank blows up. Connor is standing there, and the flames are just like whooshing his like fucking hair and everything back, and he's just standing there very sad because he knows he was just a split second too late. It's very sad. It's sad. So
it is. It's a very emotional thing for a show like this that is super dark and gritty. Interpretation of a show that was a cartoon.
Yeah.
Like, I think that Hank was a great character as Hawk.
Mm-hmm.
I think that he brought a lot of depth just as an individual. Yeah. I was sad.
I would also like to point out, just because I say this in a lot of our episodes, but Hank also played Aquaman in Smallville. So Alan, is it Rickman? Alan,
the guy who plays Professor Snape?
No, his name's something. It's similar. Hold on, I'm gonna Google it. You talk about something. Tell that joke.
Wait, yeah. What, Alan? What? What? Who are we talking about?
Hold on, it's coming.
Okay, go faster, because you gave me no preparation for this.
What's his real name? I don't care about that. Alan Richson. Sorry, Alan Richson, who plays Hank, is also Aquaman in Smallville.
Oh, okay. If you would have prepared me, I could have told them that joke that I knew, so that it prepared for the time.
I didn't even think about saying that until like on the spot. So, anyways,
clearly,
that's how the episode ends. It's very sad.
Well, that's how episode 3 ends.
Episode 3, it does.
So yes. we don't know what's going to happen until next week.
Yeah.
I'm hoping on Thursday. So the day after this airs, the next day. So, I mean, realistically, we will probably be talking about episode 4 of Titans, as well as episode 2 of What If for next week.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff going on. We'll get into that in here in just a second, but we're going to start to go ahead and close out this episode unless you have anything you want to talk about Titans.
Nope, not Titan related. I was just gonna bring up some other stuff, but
okay, yeah. So we're going to go ahead and close out this episode.
But before we do, we just want to talk to you guys about a couple things. Most importantly, for me, is that Chad is coming to Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Oh, that's most important to you?
Oh, yeah, hell yeah! I haven't seen you since I was in Ohio to visit you. But now
Minneapolis
he's coming
better
to Minnesota to visit me, and it's gonna be fucking awesome. I'm stoked.
Yeah. So with that being said, we will be recording a bunch of bonus content for our Patreon page.
Yeah. We don't even know what it's going to be yet. We're just like, we'll just fuck around.
We have ideas, but I'm going to be there for a few days. And by that, I mean like 2.
Like, wait, what?
2.
I know, well, you come in on Saturday, and then you leave on Monday. Yeah. So, yeah. But we are going to meet Chad's mom for lunch at MOA, and then we are going to
give her an official Sorry Mom keychain.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be good.
Does she have the Sorry Mom shirt yet?
It was delivered today, actually.
Oh, okay, nice, cool.
So, speaking of which, my mother has ordered stuff off of our brand new web store, and by brand new I mean it's like 2 weeks old.
Yeah.
Which you can find in the links below of this video. Or if you just go to www.allthingsnerdpodcast.com, there's links to it, and you can get there's so much, and we plan on adding more to it. Like it's great.
We're working on some stuff.
Oh yeah,
we're always working on stuff.
Always.
But yeah,
always.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool, and I gotta rub that in my mom's face, that your mom listens and has bought shit from the thing, because I don't think my mom even listens.
I'm sure she listens to at least.
She probably listened to like the first episode, and she was like, "Oh man, he swears so much. I can't listen to that." I don't fucking swear that much. I don't.
Do you hear that, Jake's mom? He's just talking mad shit.
Do you know how I know I swear a lot? Is that
she tells you?
I didn't realize that it was even like swearing a lot. Your dad in the background of like one of our shots together of like me, you, and your dad taking a shot together. Your dad goes, "Man, he says fuck a lot."
Well, finish the story.
I don't remember the rest of the story.
My dad was like, he says fuck a lot. And I was like, does he? And he's like, well, maybe not a lot, but like, you say fuck a lot, but I hear it regularly. So when someone else says it, it's just a shock.
Well, that's fucking bullshit.
So maybe, sorry, Dad. We could do a sorry, Dad, like Movember design. It'll be a short run, and once it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah, it'll say sorry, Dad, above you, and then mine will just be blank.
Oh, we'll see how that goes.
Moving on.
But
go visit our.
Yeah. Go check out the Patreon. Those of you that donate monthly, it means the world to us. It helps us with everything that we do. It helps because everything that we make from this podcast, we put back into it.
Yeah. When we have cool ideas for shit, we're like, oh, let's just use the money on the podcast to pay for it. So, like right now, we're one of the things we're gonna do, and just I mean, we're just whatever about it right now, but
Yeah.
Chad is also gonna be back here in October for a wedding. Is it October or November?
It's in October.
Yeah,
My
and we're
cousin
gonna
is
buy
getting
the
married.
season 15 um pack of hot sauces, and we're gonna do the hot ones challenge. And I mean,
Mine is Sean.
yeah, it'll be either vegan wings or like cauliflower or something like that. But we're gonna do it, and we're gonna use it's like $120. We're gonna use the money that. So you guys are funding the shit. We're not taking this money, putting it in our pocket, and like
No,
buying shit for ourselves. We're doing shit for the podcast
we
with the money that you
operate
guys.
at a negative dollar
Yeah.
amount.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely.
We're almost to the point to where what you
We do-
give us pays for everything,
We do not break,
but
even,
it
ever.
is still we
Yeah.
lose money on this podcast. But we just love doing this. We love interacting with you guys. We couldn't be happier. And on top of that, there we do have to mention. It's not about the podcast, but there's been a lot of delays.
Oh yeah.
For movie releases.
Yeah. COVID is back on the spike because some people refuse to wear a mask or get vaccinated, and it is back on the rise. So
with that being said, before we talk about, Shang-Chi is still coming out so far on schedule, but anything
September 3rd.
past that, it's been delayed. If you guys have the opportunity to get the vaccine, or you can, I don't know, wear a mask.
Yeah, if you're against
Do
getting
it.
the vaccine, whatever. I mean, here's the thing. I don't want to be political on this thing. If you're against it, fine. But for fuck's sake, just put a fucking mask on if you're in public. Not walking around on the street, but just if you're going into a private business of some sort, whether that's Cub Foods,
Target, or Walmart,
just
PetSmart,
for the
anything.
10 minutes you're in there, just put it on. It's not that inconvenient. It's really selfish to not fucking just put for the fucking well-being of everybody else. Like, it's really selfish of you to not just fucking do it. I'm not asking you to get the vaccine. Don't get if you're against it, fine. But fucking for everybody else's sake, just cover your fucking face for 10 minutes. You'll be fine. I got tattooed the other day. Really, it was like weeks ago. I wore a mask for 3 fucking hours while I was being put through pain for 3 hours. I'm
going to have to take a nap for 4 hours on a flight this coming weekend with a mask.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, if you can get the vaccine, if you believe in it, get it.
Yeah.
If you don't, we still love you. But then just
a little less than the rest of our kids.
No, don't say that. But maybe just wear the mask in public.
No.
Like, whatever your beliefs are, like, we're not here to touch base on that. That's not our podcast. That's our other podcast. All Things Science, not the All Things Science podcast, which we're severely underqualified to host.
Yeah.
But we do it. If you can't find it, it's because, Big Brother. I'm just kidding. That's super fucked up.
We didn't start it yet.
Anyways, we haven't done it. But
moving on, past the vaccine and blah, blah, blah. There's a bunch of delays happening. Yeah. Movies are getting pushed back. TV shows are getting pushed back that we thought were going to be coming. So you might see some more dives into previous Marvel shit, or not just Marvel shit, but nerdy shit.
Some throwback nerd shit. We're gonna have more.
We still haven't.
We're gonna
have
to get
Potter.
A lot of bunch of guests on top of that. Yeah. We're gonna But if you guys don't like that and you just want us to talk about what's new and hip, I get it. Uh, get vaccinated or wear your mask. Um,
That being said, we're gonna close this episode out.
yeah,
We love you guys. Go check out our shit. We got a bunch of merch. We really
a lot
do
of
appreciate
merch.
everything that you guys put into it and for listening. So cheers. This has been the All Things Nerd podcast.